girls who took notes using 50 different colored pens. Where are you now? Do you still continue to write using all those colors? I'm a medical lab technician. I took notes with a million different colored pens in college, up until 2 years ago. I graduated at age 41. Just bought myself a nice new set of gel pens. Real talk, multiple colors really helped me categorize and compress complex ideas into things I could remember. It helped a lot in understanding the material and studying for tests. I'm a lab technologist and I studied the same way, using the different colors to write important information really helped it stand out in my brain. Plus, anything that makes studying even a little more fun helps. I still color code based on class. Each class has a color. This color includes the folder color, the pen color, the sticky note color that the assignments are written on, and placed in my planner on the date they are due. I also teach intro statistics to undergraduates, where I also color code parts of the equations and the values that get inserted to the equation, so the students can see where the numbers come from more easily. *EDITED to change kids to students. That was a poor word choice on my part. Apologies. I used different ink and highlighter colors to compensate for terrible ad. I work in a chemistry lab now. Sometimes I'll still use brightly colored pens to record my results for fun, but I don't ever switch between color/color code anything anymore. All the different colored ink/highlighting helped me remember my notes come exam time, so now that I'm out of college, I don't need to switch between colors. I low-key miss color coding and taking notes sometimes, though. When you took the time to color code during class, did you ever become seriously behind as the teacher moved on? If so, how did you compensate? I had a law school classmate who tried to claim that her highlighting/margin notes actually made her used con law textbook more valuable because she did well in the class. I replied to the listserv and offered my book for cheap because I got a bad grade. Neither book sold because the school started using a new edition. I actually enjoyed buying books filled with notes. Most of the time it just made me feel smart. Wait, this idiot that had the book before me didn't already know this? What a dumbus. Certain law school prep guides teach you to take notes on court opinions using different colors. 90% of first year law students show up with 4 different color highlighters. By the end of the last year, few still use them. In legal practice I have developed color coding for notes of the cases I'm working on. I have not yet found a way to put a heart over the I in my filings. Save that for any judge with an I in their surname. I was looking for this comment. I take notes on my computer at work, so I take out my pen obsession on bullet journals. Pilot Precise V5 Extra Fine is my pen of choice these days. Try it. You won't be disappointed. Just wanted to chip in and say that writing with Pilot pens literally gives me a high. I haven't found a better pen and always use those and ones from the Asian stationery store near me. A good PM is solid fucking gold. If she ever moves to another company, follow her there. I found there isn't much in the middle ground for PMs and a good one is hard to come across. Either they're great and a project runs so smoothly you don't even notice they're operating, or they're horrible and even a small fuck up daisy chains into a major issue because they don't catch it and or have contingency plans. Had a competing GC years back that totally missed an under-counter plug mold until the entire kitchen was done. $30 part and $75 in labor, but it's code for a kitchen island. Can't drape cords over walkways in kitchen. Have to have plugs on island. Had to remove an entire huge counter and thereby undermount sink, disposer, filter, faucet, etc. so electricians could get to it. $100 turned into about a $5,000 mistake all because he didn't catch it until inspection time. My grade 9 science teacher forced us all to do it. He said that by color coding everything you understood the material better because you had to think about it longer to color code it and understand what other things it was associated with, not just zone out and go into transcribing mode. He also made us do end of unit study guides. They had to be color coded, a set amount of drawings, and unit words and definitions. The drawings were doodles, based on things in the unit. He would mark them and hand them back before the test, which was great because he knew if he needed to help us with something before we bombed the test. He was also a MMA fighter with cauliflower ears and not the type of guy you would expect to demand rainbow colored notes. Edit. There's a lot of people asking for examples, so I'll make one up this afternoon. Worked with a guy who gave me shit about playing video games. Turns out he had a spreadsheet of his spreadsheets. Who's the dork now? Great guy, though. You can always trust the Excel guy. Well, unless he's got a spreadsheet of his victims. But how common can that be? You are the department's worst nightmare. You're visually appealing. Excel spreadsheets make people daisy chain needlessly complex and pointless formulas in an effort to attempt things that should be done in a database. Their creations then become unusable, and they complain at us for not supporting their usage. Edit. Had her loving the responses and differing perspectives. Rip my inbox though. Edit 2. Thank you for gold, kind stranger. I work in an office setting now, and do still like to use different colored pens for things, if the situation allows it. I don't know if this will make sense to anyone else, but I love colors. I especially like the idea of colors being associated with ideas, personalities, names, or themes. Oh, today is Monday. I think orange is a good Monday color. Pink is Friday. Green is Wednesday. I love how Windows 10 allows me to change the colors of tiles so that my computer seems more like me. I'm constantly changing the colors of my Apple Watch face. I dunno. I think I have a problem. Eater, the thoughts and discussions being shared here have been very interesting and eye-opening. Thanks for the silver as well. I do just want to add that I'm fairly certain I do not have synesthesia. I know someone that does, and from my very limited knowledge of it, it isn't a voluntary association of colors like mine probably would be. I always automatically like to associate stuff with color or mood, but I don't know that it happens involuntarily. Think of what I do as more of what happens in the video game Persona 5, where each character has a color associated with them intentionally. I love that kind of stuff. My wife did this when we were in school, and she still loves using multicolored pens for everything she can. She even uses her own pretty colors for writing and the labels for things at work. You can always tell work that was done by her from everyone else's. A true ray of sunshine. Edit. I told my wife about all the upvotes on this comment, and she is thrilled about all the attention. Edit 2. 1/27 7 PM. Thank you so much to both of the kind strangers who awarded this comment. Never thought it would blow up so much. The wife is happy. I actually do. I'm now a professional scientist, and it makes my lab notebook pretty. Plus frankly often it's really helpful to have multiple colors. I also like having a bunch of colors for seminar speakers, because it somehow keeps me more interested to choose a different color for a different speaker. Honestly though, the core reason is the main reason I enjoy multiple colors is because I often feel the secret to success against procrastination is negotiating with your inner 5-year-old. Okay, you need to write these notes, but if you do you can choose what color to write them in. You might as well find a little happiness in the world where you can. Close bracket. I'm one of those girls currently in college. I don't do it because I'm organized or anything. I just fucking love buying pen/markers and otherwise I can't pay attention to my notes. It's aesthetically appealing to me, which immensely helps encourage me to actually take notes. I have a few friends that do that. One of them is studying to be a doctor, moved the colored pens to a tablet to easily switch colors. Another wants to become a sign language translator. Keep forgetting the actual term. Edit. Slow down. If you want a copy, message me. Edit 2. I'm sorry if I don't get to everyone. There's a lot you guys asking. Hope you understand. Have a nice day. I color coded my notes. I have OCD, and it makes everything feel neater and easier to flick through. If you want, I'll give my system as I found it to be very useful. Maybe you will too. Oh, and I'm currently unemployed, but due to the recent birth of my son, James, I've been looking into jobs. Or, an alternative way, I use black for titles and subtitles, as, for me, the title isn't that important. The dates are written in a subtle color, because the focus should be on the stuff below. I'm not focusing on the title, more on the definitions, keywords, diagrams, instructions etc. Blue is the most used, as that's usually what I use for simple stuff. Red is used for diagrams, definitions, and instructions, and research shows that red helps with more detailed information than blue. Also, red is cool. I highlight keywords in pastel pink because it looks pretty with blue, and highlight in pastel orange because fire and shit. As for the summary, I write it in grey with a black border. It's a lot, but I mainly just focus on aesthetic more than anything. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.